Hello everyone, this is week 7 and today my speech is going to be on FGM, which is female genital mutilation. Female genital mutilation should be stopped. Female genital mutilation, FGM, is also known as, cutting of the female or female circumcision. Is a ritual removal or some sort of external female genitalia. The practice is found in Africa, Asia, and the Middle East, and within communities from countries in which FGM is common. UNICEF estimates in 2016 that 200 million women alive today in 30 countries, 27 African countries, Indonesia, Iraq, and Yemen, are undergoing this procedure. It is estimated that nearly 125 million girls and women have been subjected to this violation, and each year a further 3 million are at risk in Africa alone. Many people understand that female circumcision needs to stop, but often they struggle to explain why. Here's a list of my reasons why female circumcision needs to stop. It causes physical damages. Female circumcision almost never performed by people within medical training. As a result, the procedure causes numerous physical problems aside from damage to the external genitalia. The victims suffer from great levels of urinary and pelvic infections, scarring, pain during menstruation, and sex. The second one, it leads to psychological trauma. Women may have been subject to suffer post-traumatic stress, anxiety disorder, and depression. The third one is female circumcision reinforces gender inequality, meaning women do not have a right to say if they don't want this to be done or not. In the culture that practices these procedures, women have minimal rights and are often viewed as property of their families and later their husband. The act of circumcision is a violation or a violated assault carried out without conformed consent. Is a way to entrench these powers in balance. It is linked to girls dropping out of school early, child marriage, and child pregnancy. Basically, parents giving their kids over to younger men. The fourth one is the health benefits. For example, male circumcision believes that when you remove the foreskin is more healthy and more cleaner as when it comes to cleansing. But there's no proof that when you do female circumcision that this is even the same as for them. And the fifth one is a violation of human rights. Female circumcision has declined rapidly for females of all ages, 15 to 19. According to Hilary Badger, she wrote a book on female mutilation. It may be done in order to cleanse girl, in the belief that it is more hygienic and will also stop unpleasant genital secretion and odor as a child develops in maturity. Also, some communities believe men's sexual pleasure will also enhance by FGM. According to Westcott of Newsweek, the number of women and girls at risk of FGM in the United States has more than doubled in the past 10 years. California is the state with the largest number of risk for women and children. There's 56,872 women at risk in California, 48,418 in New York, 44,293 in Minnesota. According to Dr. Perron and Dr. Sankey of the Canada Journal of OGBYN, in Canada, when a female is believed to undergo or to be at risk of being subject to this practice, healthcare providers have a duty to report it. Even in Canada, FGM is a criminal offense. The practice better describes the FGM cutting, FGC, as a long-standing in some communities. It has spread to non-traditional countries by immigration. It is of varying degrees of invasiveness, often including clitoridectomy, but all raises healthcare related concern, which can be considerably physical and or psychological severity, and compromise gynecology and obstetric care. The practice is not based on requirement of religious observance. Also, parents usually seek it for their daughters in good faith. It is directed to the social control of women's sexuality in association with the preservance of virginity and family honor. FGC is becoming increasingly prohibited by the law in countries both of its traditional practice and of immigration. Medical practice prohibited FGC in compromising women's health and neglecting their sexuality. FGC is a human right abuse, and physicians have a role in eliminated by education of the patients and communication. Everybody want to see a change of FGM even within the United States. Evidence of the change. The answer to the question of whether the old and more deeply entrenched culture practice such as FGM can ever be changed is in. Alright. FGM can and will be stopped. While perceived as traditional, African societies have proven to be open and change as long as the drive for change is internationalized and owned by the community, and the motivation pioneered by groups with vested interest in the change. As this review will prove, change in the practice has already happened and will continue to escalate if invested is made an appropriate combination of its people and inputs. According to N.F. Tobias and E.H. Safford, who wrote the article at OBGYN, one of the dilemmas is choosing action against FGM as the private nature of the act. To which extent do government policies are prohibitive, legislative affect the behavior of individuals and communities. History has shown that legislation in isolation is the best and effective and can prove counterproductive. This was particularly true at the time when legislation were passed by colonizing administration or unpopular governments. Legislative regulation prohibited FGM played a more positive role in the later part of the 20th century, when most African countries experienced decades of national governments and some were in the process of building democracy institute and promoting the rule of law. The importance of the United Nations as a broker of international consequences on social, political, and economic issues has also helped define and the role of policies and heralding or catalyzing the social changes. More extensive analyzing of the role in laws and the policies against FGM is available everywhere. So in some countries, starting from birth or even as a teenage, a lot of them practice FGM, which is female circumcision. A lot of the times the female don't have a choice in whether they say they don't want to do it or not. But then there's a lot of people who migrated here to the US and then sometime later go back home to practice these traditions because it's illegal here in the United States. So with the conclusion, that is my speech on female genital mutilation. Thank you.